Oh, that poor little baba. Kia ora. Is this Papua? I have another guy. Kia ora. Woo, I'm in the right place. I was worried. Let us bow our heads in prayer. E tō mātou mātou te rangi. Kia tapu tu ingoa. Kia tā mātou rangatiratanga. Kia me te auto e pai ai ki rungo te whenua. Ki rea te ano ki tō te rangi, o mai ki mātou e nai nei. E tarama mātou mō tēnei rā, mura mātou hara. Me mātou hoki mura nei e o tōna ana ki mātou. Au hoki mātou e kāwea, kia wagoanga. Engari, ako rangi mātou i te kino, no hoki te rangatiratanga me te kaha me te kōrea. Ake, amene. E kui mai, e kurama. Nā rangatira mā, ka iwi ngā hau e whā. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Ngā mihi nui, kia koutou. Nā mai haere mai te whenua rangatāne o Manoa tū. Ngā mihi nui, kia koutou. Kia kura ai warawari ki te hinganga rātou i te tiruhanga kanohi. Ngā mate, ka aitua koutou rā mātou whakariki hia ki te aratangata, haere. Anei rā mātou turopu, kurau e nei raro i te korowai o te rangi Māori e. Ki te kawa nei, ki runga te kaupapa o te rā. Whakatauki e te peti te awe. Kua kaupapi au te aroha mo koutou e whakaoti. Of course, I've got to talk about the horizons, good guys. Kei te ora te wai. Kei te ora te whenua, kei te ora te tangata. Ino tui te paipira tapu, ko te whakapono te timaraka me te aroha, e me nui o te rangi Māori e. Uti e te reto a tarakeke, ke he te ko maku e ko, ka rere ki uta, ka rere ki tai, ke mai kia, he hata me nui o jau, mā kui he tangata, the councils. Just a brief translation, because I know everyone there in your eye said, these ones weren't too sure, and these ones said, oh yeah, he's doing all right tonight. I always say this, I open up, in my viewpoint, the best prayer in the world. And it's the Lord's Prayer. Why I love it? Because it says, Our Father who art in heaven. That includes those Ngāpuris, Kahunane, Ngāti Kaiwhata, Rangatane, Ngāti Raukawa, Ngāti Tō. Have I missed out anyone? Got the main ones, huh? And in that word there's a good thing about forgiveness and getting on with each other. And for us married men, you know why you ladies look so great? You've got great husbands. Is that correct? Come on, ladies, we'll be quiet on me here. And of course, we went on to ask for God's blessing to be on tonight and being with us. Lord Eira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Could I have my backing group, please? Ano. Te whakapono, me te rangi mari e You know what you've just sung? 1 Corinthians 13 out of the Bible. 3 things which remain: faith, hope and love. But the greatest of these is the love that goes beyond all understanding. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Anō.
Kia ora waramu, tēnā tātou katoa, e rau rangatira mā, e kui mā, e koro mā, e hui nei nā mihi mahana kia koutou, e mihi ana ki te hau kāinga o rangatāne o Manawatu, kei te mihi. Ki a koe waramu, korua ko whaia Trieste, tēnā kōrua, tō tātou kāhika Grant, kōrua ko whaia Michelle, tēnā kōrua, o tātou kai kaunihira tūturu o Papa Auea, tēnā kōtau. E nā ringareihi o te tera nei, tēnā tātou katoa. Nau mai, haere mai ki te whānau o te kaunihira. Nō reira, tēnā kōtau, tēnā rā tātou katoa. Right, just going to go through a bit of housekeeping and that to start off with people, just given the large numbers that are in here. So just explain to everybody that the meeting is being recorded and live streamed on our council's YouTube channel. There is a bit of health and safety as well that I just need to go through as well. On hearing an alarm, and hopefully we don't get one this evening, please leave the site immediately via the nearest exits, and there's some here and out through the doors that we came through. Evacuate to the assembly area, and that's by the clock tower and Te Marae o Hine, the square. Smoking and vaping is prohibited within any council public entrance, building or site. Defibrillator is located outside the entrance of our customer service centre, where we were downstairs a short while ago on the ground floor. And please report any near misses or incidents to our team to my right here as well. Just got a few words to go through first, and then I'll explain the proceedings just for tonight. I know it is pretty warm in here, so we'll try and zip through things as quickly as we can. To our elected members, certainly like to say that we've missed you guys over the last several weeks or so as you're going through the election process and since the election night, so it is good to have been able to reconnect with you over the last few weeks on a few of the induction programs and tours that we've had over the last little while. On behalf of my senior team, which have got my back up the top up there this evening and with our media, and our whole organisation, we would like to congratulate Mayor Grant on his re-election to the council to the start of his fifth term with PNCC. Congratulations to all of our councillors that have returned for this term, and a special welcome to our new two councillors, Hayden Fitzgerald and Bonnie Kuru, so welcome to you both. Also like to thank a number of our city partners that we have here with us this evening as well, that have been able to join us. Importantly, a very warm welcome to the whānau and friends of our elected members that have joined them to help celebrate this occasion today. And lastly, thank you to Rangatane in particular for your continued support, not only for our staff, our organisation, but also for the elected members throughout their journey. Right, just going to go through very briefly as well the sort of order of proceedings for tonight. There are a couple of procedural things I just need to go through. Apologies, notifications of additional items, declarations of interest. We'll then move on to the Mayor's declaration and oath, and then I'll hand the chair back. So this is the only time that I get to do this job in the entire term. Pretty sure I shouldn't do anything else in this period of time. No, I was just checking around the room just to make sure that that was okay. And then after I've handed back to the Mayor, we'll do councillors' declarations and oath. The Mayor will do his inaugural address. There'll be the appointment of the Deputy Mayor. We've got a couple of reports to do, just very quick legislative reports, and a meeting schedule for the remainder of this year, and then we'll close off with karakia at the end and hopefully get you out of here as celebrations afterwards as well with our new council. Right, okay, so I'm just moving on now to apologies. I don't expect any. Everyone seems to be here this evening, so that's great. I'll just make a note of those. No notification. I've had no notifications of additional items and don't expect to get any. Great, excellent. So we'll move on from that one. Declarations of interest. So I have one from Debbie.
Yes, thank you, Parwade, CE, just with item number 9, thank you.
Yep.
A conflict of
Make a note
interest.
of that, thank you. Right, this is the part where I get to stand now. So moving on to the electoral office declarations for the Mayor. The electoral officer, Mr. Dale Ofsovsky, has declared Grant Smith to be elected Mayor of Palmerston North City Council as a result of the 2025 triennial general election. I'll now ask Grant, Mayor-elect, to stand and make our way to the table in the front. Right, Mr. Mayor, the law requires that before entering upon the duties of your office, you shall make and sign in the presence of the council a formal declaration in the form prescribed by the Local Government Act. I set before you that declaration.
I, Grant Charles Smith, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as Mayor of Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act.
Sign it.
Sign.
Right, that's it. Congratulations. Come around the front here. I still have more to do. We're now going to go through to the electoral officer's declarations for our councillors. So the electoral officer, Mr. Dale Ofsovsky, has declared that the following councillors to be elected as a result of the Palmerston North City Council 2025 triennial general election. As I call out each name, I would ask the member to turn to stand and make your way to the table for the formal declaration. You may wish to bust out some dance moves on your way there if you choose to do so. We'll leave that up entirely up to you. Mr. Mayor, I would ask you to join them at the front. Our first councillor is Debbie Marshall-Lobb.
Ko Deborah Marama and Marshall Lobb. Ahau, ko tāku ki tauranga nei tēnei. Ka tō mau, ka tō kiki au, ka whakamahi au I aku pukenga me taku ata mahi ki te whakatūtuki I ngā kawinga mahi katoa. Hei painga mo te taone nui o te papai o ia, I runga I te mana kua riro mai I ahau. Kua tukua rānei ki ahau, hei kai kaunihera mo te kaunihera o papai o ia. I raro I te turi kāwanatanga, ārohi, rua mano rua tau. Te turi pārongo huinga o kawa kāwanatanga ārohe, kotahi mano iwarau waru tukau mā whitu. I raro I te turi kē atu rānei. I, Deborah Marama and Marshall Lobb, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information Meetings Act 1987 and any other act.
Kia ora. I now call forward Mark Ana.
I, Mark Gordon Charles Campbell Arnott, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of the Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act.
I'd like to call forward Brent Barrett.
I, Brent Arthur Barrett, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities, and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Now call forward Rachel Bowen.
I, Rachel Bowen, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Call forward Vaughan Dennison.
I, Vaughan Robert Dennison, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skills and judgment execute and perform in the best interest of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in and imposed upon me as a member of Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 and any other act.
Call forward Lou Finlay.
I, Lewis Wilson Finlay QSM, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interest of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, and any other act.
Welcome Hayden Fitzgerald forward.
I, Hayden Brent Richard Fitzgerald, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Leone Hapeta for.
I, Leonie Ruth Harper, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interest of the Palmerston North City Council and the powers and authorities and duties vested in and imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Authorities Act 2002, the Local Government Officials Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act. Your pen.
Welcome forward, Lorna Johnson.
I, Lorna Ann Johnson, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Welcome forward, Bonu Kuru.
Ko Bonnie Allen Pō ai whatuira kuru ahau, ko taku ki taurangi tēnei, ka tō mau, ko tō keke ahau, ka whakamahi au I aku pūkenga me taku atamai ki te whakatūtuki I ngā kāwinga mahi katoa. He painga mō te taone nui o Papaiwea. E runga I te mana, kua riro mai I ahau, kua tukua rānei ki ahau. Hei kaunihera mō te kaunihera o Papaiwea. E raro I te ture kawanatanga arohe 2002, te ture pārongo huinga o kawa kawanatanga arohe 1987, he whakapūtanga 1835, e raro e ture ke atu rānei.
That was relief.
Kia ora. I'd like to call forward Billy Meehan.
I, William Patrick Meehan, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skills and judgment, execute and perform in the best interest of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002 and the Local Government Officials Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act.
Welcome forward Orfei Mikala.
I, Orfei Gary Mrs. McCullard, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities, and duties vested or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meeting Acts 1987, or any other acts. So help me God.
I'd like to welcome forward Karen Naylor.
I, Karen Elizabeth Naylor, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities, and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Welcome forward William Wood. I, William George Wood, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act. And finally, welcome forward Katie Zabella.
Ko Katie Jean Zabelanaho, ko taku ki taurangi tēnei. Ka tōmau, ka tōki ki ahau, ka whakamahi au i aku pūkenga, me taku atamai ki te whakatūtuki i ngā kāwenga mahi katoa. Hei paenga mō te tauna e nui o Papaioia, ki rongo i ngā mana kua riro mai i ahau, kia toko ara nei ki ahau. Hei kaikaunihira mō te kaunihira o Papaioia, i raro i te turi kāwanatanga o Arohe roa mano e roa. Te turi pārongo huinga o kawa kāwanatanga Arohe ko tahi mano e waru tukau mā whetū. I raro i te turi ki atu rānei. I, Katie Jean Zabellan, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Palmerston North City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Palmerston North City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act.
Kia ora tātou, nau mai, haere mai, ki te Papaioia o Manawatu. Ko Rangatira Grant Smith ahau, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Look, it's with great pleasure that as Mayor I address this first official City Council meeting of the 2025-28 local government term as the 29th Mayor of Palmerston North and in my 10th year on the role. Firstly, if I could acknowledge mana whenua, rangitane, especially Wiremu and Trieste for your welcome and blessings and your friendship over the last decade. Can I also acknowledge and welcome dignitaries here, including our new water buddies from Rangitikei to the Mayor, Andy Watson. Thank you, Andy, for supporting us as you have done for many a year. Also to the Regional Council Chair, Nikki Riley, along with other leaders here from business, education, science, military, and the wider community. Also to other distinguished guests here, including former City Mayors Jill White and John O'Naylor, and I'm not sure if Mark Bell-Booth is here, but he was coming, and also to various other former councillors. And it's to you, the previous governors and leaders of our city, that I offer our thanks for the contributions and advancements that you have made to Palmerston North and the legacy that you've provided us with. But I have great confidence that this class of 2025-28 will do the city proud. It's also a big vote of thanks to our city CE, Wade Crockett, for his professionalism and operational expertise since arriving here soon after the 2022 election. It's been a pleasure working alongside you, Wade, and your senior leadership team, who have got your back, literally, over the past 3 years. And I acknowledge the effort the team has put in to ensure the oversight of city's finances and the smooth operations of services. This has complemented the Council's governance work as we set about realising our vision and goals for the city. To other council officers, whether it's in management or front of house services, my thanks on behalf of my council colleagues for continuing to keep the city working and viable despite unfavourable economic and social challenges we've endured. Could I take a very quick moment to reflect on two former councillors, Pat Hancock, who sent me a text today and wished us well tonight, and Rolly Fitzgerald, whose presence, experience and wisdom will be missed around the council table. I thank them for their professional manner in which they conducted themselves, not only in this chamber, but as representatives of the council and the public, and they set very high examples of commitment, decorum and performance. Pat was a councillor since 2019. He served on a number of committees, but is probably best known for his work as the Safety Advisory Board Chair and the councillor for Bunnythorpe. Rowley was an inaugural representative of our 2022 Māori ward and served on many committees as well, but he's also prominent in the successful campaign to keep Māori wards. And our thanks goes to both for their valuable service. To them and the 13 returning members from Council of 2022-25, my deep appreciation for what we've managed to accomplish together. Can I also welcome the return of our Deputy Mayor, Debbie Marshall-Lobb, and again we'll announce her as the Deputy Mayor for the 25-28 term. And I thank her for the support she's provided during the last term, holding down a full-time job. I know your boss is in the room, so she did very well, turning up at both places at once. And she officially stood in for me at public forums in the city, around New Zealand, and even in Asia, around international education. I think this epitomises the partnership that this council enjoys with Rangitane, and I'm looking forward to maintaining that relationship. Now, together, despite raising costs, high inflation and a recession, the members of council managed to deliver on a great deal over the past term. If we look back over this 3-year term, for instance, there's been a lot of expenditure, over 85% on infrastructure, mostly around, dare I say, boring subjects like waters and transport. I mean, roading was our largest expense in the past term, with operations, OPEX or capital or CAPEX, totalling 150 million. Among the major improvements was the rebuild of Railway Road, the replacement of the Amberley Ave Bridge, the Central City Ring Road intersection, especially at Pitt and Ferguson Streets. And that roading-related expenditure was followed by approximately 100 million that we committed to recreation, sports grounds and playgrounds. And that included maintaining our parks, reserves and walkways, as well as 40 million that was spent maintaining and improving facilities such as the Fitzherbert Park Cricket Ground, the Central Energy Trust Arena, Lido Aquatic Centre and the Regent on Broadway Theatre. Our world-class library service has cost 30 million with the Central City Library, branch networks and mobile bus now issuing over 1 million books annually. Other major investments included 43 million in all forms of housing, from market to public, where we supported future subdivision development and rezoning consultations, and we continued our city-owned market subdivision at Tamakuku Terrace at Whakarongo. Our social housing portfolio also had investment with over 15 million in OPEX. This was offset by rental income. But waters was our biggest expense at over 170 million spent over the last 3 years, and major investments of over 90 million in operations, while 80 million was spent in key water pipe upgrades around freshwater, wastewater and stormwater across the city. A highlight of the year was receiving a clear audit opinion from Audit New Zealand, and my returning colleagues will know how important that was to us. We bolstered our local groups with extra funding through creative community schemes and strategic priorities grants, and that helped bring more life, colour and connection to the city. Our city has always been a leader in recycling, and over the past year polystyrene recycling became available to the city, and nearly 4 tonnes of that was collected, and that's a lot when you consider how light polystyrene is. This year also we asked our community for feedback and options around managing city waters, as the case for all councils around New Zealand. This included fresh drinking water, wastewater and stormwater services as part of the government's Local Water Done Well program. As a result of that feedback, we set up a new Central Region Waters entity with our neighbouring councils, Rangitikei and Horowhenua, and it's a multi-council owned organisation, one that will keep the decision making at a local level, but ensuring safe, sustainable and affordable water services into the future. In the city centre, the conversion of the old post office building into a new $50 million Wyndham Hotel is well underway and is due to open around this time next year. And it's so fantastic to see a crane in the middle of our city centre. And we're already seeing revitalisation in this area for other hospitality and commercial activity. Next door, planning is underway for a new 5,000 square metre, 5-level government justice sector building with new hospitality investment further down Main Street and a new regional office for Transpower. Throughout the past year especially, elected members have been focused on staying within debt levels, repaying debt for future generations while managing that impact on current ratepayers. Elected members showed flexibility in their response to resident concerns about rising costs, revisiting and revising the 2024 to 34 10-year plan. Many will remember that was a huge effort last year to get that over the line. Other key financial aspects of the last 3 years are our council's debt sits at $295 million with another $10 million to our airport company. We're paying back approximately $28 million debt annually on intergenerational assets. But the city's turnover now is around $230 million and residents have assets of nearly $2.7 billion. The water assets make up approximately $1 billion of this, with around $150 million of debt. These will eventually be transferred to the new water entity. And while that's not a complete picture by any means, it does give you an idea why I'm especially proud of what the city has achieved and progress in challenging times. Especially given the economic constraints imposed by inflation, runaway cost issues forced on council and increases, the demands of central government and the expectations of city residents for services and amenities. It made prioritisation a very necessary aspect for councillors. So my congratulations go to our 13 returning members for their re-election, and can I extend a very warm welcome to our 2 newcomers, to Hayden Fitzgerald in the General Ward, so we still have a Fitzgerald around the table, and to Bonnie Kiru, our new Māori Ward representative. You are both, for both being successfully making it to the council table. I now want to direct my thanks to voters. Firstly, to the 42% of the residents' voters, or the city's voters, for making the effort to carry out the democratic duty and elect a cohesive council of representatives. And they did that, despite having 40 plus candidates to sift through and evaluate. So democracy was well and truly alive in Palmerston North. And although not fantastic numbers, 42% still represents the highest local body voter turnout since 2010, and is 10% above the national average. So things do really need to change at a Wellington level. Voters in 25 councils opted to scrap Māori wards, while in 17 areas and cities, us among them, opted to keep them. And I think that is an appreciation. And I do think that's an appreciation and the standing of rangitane in our city. What's particularly gratifying about the election result is learning through the ballot box that Palmerston North people in general, and despite the odd hiccup, and I said I wasn't going to mention Featherston Street, they approve of the vision that we've had for the city, the direction that we've been taking, and the progress that we've made, and the cohesive and collegial way that the council has gone about achieving the city's goals. And I'll echo comments made on election night, that the election results show a community that's deeply invested in what the city is doing. And to return a city council virtually unchanged, I think, is testament to the direction of the city's vision and the residents for appreciating the achievements that have been made, despite a couple of economically and socially challenging years for everyone. And at times like this, I'm always conscious of the vision, the energy, the range and the scale of public works the facilities and amenities that our predecessors have bequeathed to our city over a century and a half. If you think of dams, if you think of waters networks and transport networks, if you think of arena, if you think of the Regent Theatre, the airport, the Esplanade, the square, we as a city are truly blessed. And we're just guardians of the city for this period, and then we hand the baton on. So thanks to them today, Palmerston North has a great deal going for itself. As well as being a smart centre for quality education, learning, research and science, we're New Zealand's food innovation city. We're a productive hub for agriculture, agri-tech, agri-science. We're a nationally vital hub for logistics, distribution, warehousing and transportation. We're New Zealand's Defence Force capital. We have a major regional hospital and we're a centre for regional specialist healthcare services and a base for significant national and international businesses. And on top of that, we're a colourful, creative and multicultural city. And I just want to acknowledge Ranjita and the Multicultural Council here. We're home to nearly 140 different ethnic groups, where people of all backgrounds, abilities can thrive. We are truly a city of cultures. But we'll need all of these advantages to successfully work our way through the next 3 years. So we'll be looking at every opportunity to leverage off those things and help the city and region realise its potential for living, learning, business and lifestyle. And to meet and overcome the issues we face, which include ongoing infrastructure upgrades, as well as planning for new works and sustainable growth, and meeting the expectations of our new waters entity. There's the local business economy to address, along with housing, council's cost and spending efficiencies, and making sure that your elected members are available to engage and communicate with our city residents in an effective, understanding and meaningful way. So we're up for it, and as much underway, we'll try and get as much underway as possible before the Christmas shutdown. And I'll be announcing appointments of our various committee structures, committees and external appointments in the coming weeks. I'll finish up by expressing some gratitude to the mayoral office team, to Em, Anna and Richard for their input on my behalf and holding down the fort sometimes at all hours of the day and night. And to the wider council management, governance team and staff for facilitating this occasion tonight. Also, I couldn't do this job properly without the steadfast belief, support, love and encouragement from my wife, Michelle. A great sounding board for me and at times my harshest critic. Thank you, hun. But also from my children, Regan and Emma, and my father, Tony, and father-in-law, Lawrence, and his partner, Barbara, as well as my sisters, Louisa, and her husband, Kelvin, Sarah, and her husband, Lloyd, along with my sister-in-law, Chrissy, and Kevin. So I think tonight we have Regan, I've got to remember who's in the room. Regan and his partner, Paige, along with my sisters, my sister-in-law. I'm not sure if my dad's here. Is he here? No. Okay. Anyway, and along with some of Michelle's former New Zealand Post colleagues, so it's going to be a good night. I'm fully aware that the Mayoralty and the Council are family affairs, and I'm deeply indebted to my family in keeping me grounded, engaged and in touch. Can I also acknowledge all the other partners, husband, wives of councillors here tonight, because I know you put up with so much disruption to family life. Tonight, we, the members of this council, have made a solemn pledge to serve the city. It's a pledge for us to do our very best on your behalf. And we will continue to work alongside Rangitane. Finally, I think that's probably enough from me. Thank you again for your commitment to local democracy and your support of Palmerston North City by being here this evening. This new council is now sworn in and ready to conduct business. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. All right, we're up now to number 9. Not long to go, folks. The appointment of the Deputy Mayor. And colleagues, I'll do this with a show of hands. And the recommendation to Council is that the Council note the Mayor has appointed Councillor Debbie Marshall-Lobb as the Deputy Mayor. Now, I'll move that. Could I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Bowen. I'll do this with a show of hands. All those in favour? Against? That's passed unanimously. All right, we move through to number 10, which is a summary of relevant legislation. I'll ask our legal counsel, Desiree Viggers, to speak to this. Councillors will again vote on a recommendation with a show of hands.
Kia ora koutou, Mr Mayor, councillors, congratulations. I'll take this as read and just note that there's some advice on conduct and decision making in there, and that the CE and the leadership team are always there to assist if you need.
Thank you. So, councillors, we have a recommendation to council that we note the report summary of relevant legislation for information. I'm happy to move that, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Is there any comments to that? There being none, we'll do it with a show of hands. All those in favour? Against? That's passed unanimously. Thank you. Right, we move through to our last item, which is number 11, which is the council meeting schedule for 2025, or the remainder of 2025. I'll ask that our governance manager, Hannah White, speak to this, please.
Maria tātou. You will be aware, elected members, that you are required to set a schedule of meetings. This is for transparency for the public so that they know when you are meeting, and these are the 3 dates that I would prefer that you would agree tonight so that we can meet 3 times between now and Christmas.
Thank you, Hannah. So the recommendation to us that we meet the following meetings for the remainder of 25. Councils all starting at 9 a.m, Wednesday the 12th of November 2025, Wednesday the 3rd of December 2025, and Wednesday the 10th of December 2025. They'll be held here in the council chamber. I'm happy to move that, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Are there any comments to that? None. We will do it a vote, a show of hands. All those in favour? Against? That's unanimous. Thank you. All right. That is our meeting done. I will now like to ask the Deputy Mayor to close us out with a karakia.
Tēnā koe, Your Worship, o tira tēnā tātou I hui hui mai nei I tēnei pō whakahirahira, nōku te Waimārie. Thank you, Your Worship, and thank you everyone for being here, to our wonderful staff who have prepared this evening for us, and to all the families and supporters, ngā mihi nui ki a koutou, those who are watching online, a big mihi to you also. I'd just like to also acknowledge within the council chambers, we have some members from Te Kokonga Pauri Whaturaranga Rōpū, Highbury Weavers, who made the buttonholes today. And I'd like to acknowledge our governance manager, director, Hannah White, for the idea. And they're really quite beautiful. So ngā mihi ki a koutou, ngā wahine toa, kia ora. And with that, I'll conclude with a karakia. Whakarongo ake au ki te tangi a te manu a te mātui. Tui, 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 tui a. Tui a i ronga, tui a i raro, tui a i roto, tui a i waho. Tui a ki te here tangata. Ka rongo te pō, ka rongo te ao. Tūturu whakamaua kia tina. Haumi e, hui e, tae ki e. Thank you, Your Worship. Thank you, everyone.
Kia ora, thank you. That concludes our meeting. People, thank you for attending. We have refreshments and some nibbles to enjoy. So, as before, mix and mingle with your new council. Thank you.